Hey guys, Keely Reason here, owner of Love Hope Adventure, where I blog about the marriage, relationship, intimacy, and marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. And today I'm answering a question about initiation. So sometimes I have people write in and they'll tell me, well, my husband or my wife, they never initiate. I'm the only one that initiates. And it bothers them. And they want to know, okay, well, why doesn't my husband or wife initiate? Why am I the only one initiating sex, and what does that mean? So one thing that's important to know is that typically you have one of two kinds of sex drives. You have one where you're spontaneous, where you have a spontaneous desire. And then the other, you have a responsive desire. Now there's other types of desires. There's kinds where you just totally force yourself not to have desire. You are telling yourself sex is not okay, and anything arousing you, just shut that down. All right, so you can definitely shut down desire that could be there. Maybe you are spontaneous or responsive, either one, but you're just shutting it down. The truth is, though, is that somebody who's not initiating sex is probably a person who either has a responsive desire, meaning something sexual has to be going on before they feel aroused, or they have a really bad view of sex for whatever reason. They're carrying baggage. Maybe they had sexual abuse in their past, they're rape victims, they grew up with a really bad teaching about sex. Sex is dirty. That's not for good girls. Good girls don't have sex, or they don't initiate sex, or they only have sex when they're approached, or whatever. There's any number of things that can happen. So if you're in a relationship where your spouse never initiates with you, it's probably not because they don't want you. It's not personal. And this seems so crazy to say that out loud. Like, well, if your spouse isn't, initiating sex with you, it's not to be taken personally. But the truth is, it's more about them than you. Even if they're saying no to sex, sometimes it can be about them, and sometimes it can be about you. It just kind of depends on your relationship, what you guys have been going through, your conversations. But I can definitely understand why a spouse who desires sex a lot and initiates sex would think to himself, why doesn't my spouse initiate it back? That must mean they don't want to have sex with me. And oftentimes, a person who's not initiating, there's reasons for that. It's not on their mind. Sex isn't like immediately on their mind. For the person who has sex on their mind a lot, that is very confusing. It's like, oh my gosh, why isn't sex on their mind? Am I not attractive? Maybe they don't think I'm attractive. Wouldn't they want sex? Wouldn't it be on their mind if they see me and I'm naked, or I'm doing something sexy, or whatever? Wouldn't I just be like this complete turn on to them? Yeah, that's you internalizing a lot of things that isn't necessarily the case. Your spouse can genuinely, deeply love you, care for you, think you're attractive, feel attracted to you, and still not recognize sexual desire, even if they are feeling stimulated. There is a study that says that women, like a certain number of women, don't actually recognize that they have sexual arousal as fast as it's actually happening. So they can be sexually aroused and not even aware of it. You have to be looking for it, thinking about it, trying to figure that out for yourself. So if you are a woman who's like, I never feel in the mood, you might actually be aroused and you're not aware. Same thing for a husband who has a wife who feels like she's never in the mood. That could be happening. Maybe she is feeling some stimulation, but she doesn't know it, right? If your spouse is not initiating with you, there could be some reasons, all right? It might not be on their mind, might not be a priority. Maybe they feel bad about it. Like maybe they feel like, I shouldn't desire sex, I shouldn't want sex, sex isn't okay for me. If I initiate it, then that's me giving into something that's not okay. But if my husband or my wife comes to me and initiates it, that's okay because it wasn't my idea. I'm not a dirty girl or whatever, or promiscuous or something if I'm allowing my spouse to ask me for sex. But if I'm thinking about sex and I'm entertaining those thoughts, They might be uncomfortable about that. They may be uncomfortable just having those thoughts in and of themselves. Other things could be they're just really distracted, just very distracted, very tired, stressed out. Life is coming at them. And so they aren't making time or priority for that. They think this is just one more thing I have to do before I go to bed, versus seeing it as a way to reconnect with you and to enjoy you and enjoy time together as an escape. There could be other things going on. Maybe there is issues in the relationship. Maybe they feel pressured by you to initiate with them and to have sex with them, and they don't feel like they're doing a good job. Maybe they feel like they're letting you down and they're disappointing you or whatever else, and they just don't want to continue to add to that disappointment, initiating sex and it not going well. Or maybe they feel like they're not doing good enough for you. If your husband or wife isn't initiating with you, I think you need to have a good conversation with them. Multiple, not in an accusatory way, not in a you need to initiate kind of way, but in what's going on. Like, I initiate with you because I feel sexually attracted to you and I want to have sex with you, so I initiate it. But when you don't initiate it with me, I feel like you're not attracted to me. I feel like you don't want to spend time with me. You don't want to connect with me. So it's important to explain why you're doing what you do, how you take the non-initiation, and then hear them out and listen. You might be really surprised of what they come back with. So my recommendation to you, if you are in that position, to explain to your spouse how you feel, what you think, but then not to get your hopes up that they're going to act on it. Because if they have hang-ups on initiating, once you bring it up with them and they don't do it, you may still think, well, they don't love me and it's still me. And in reality, it's them. And they are going through their own thing that they have to work through so that they can become the husband or wife that you need. And it's probably tearing them up inside too, that they are not able to initiate with you even after you've brought it up. So don't think that once you talk to your spouse about initiating with you that they will start doing that. That is not the best expectations, not reasonable expectations, but have those conversations and find out what's going on. Give your spouse the space to figure it out. And in the meantime, continue to pursue them sexually. Not in a way that's threatening to them, but inviting them to have sex with you, inviting them to have a physical, intimate relationship with you. Not inviting them to just meet your sexual needs, but inviting them to experience time with you, to be intimate, as an additional part of the other things you're doing in your marriage to be intimate with each other, like deep conversations and spiritual conversations and prayer and all the other things you do to be close and intimate. This is an extension of that, so invite them into that. That's my thoughts for anybody in that position today. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you'll sign up for my newsletter if you're not already. Go to lovehopeadventure.com/newsletter. If you sign up, I'll send you a copy of my free Sexy Truth or Dare. And also, in that newsletter, I email out most weeks commonly asked questions, things that's on their mind, anonymous questions, our recent blogs, recent podcasts, anything else, things you're not going to see here on YouTube. Definitely follow us there. Thank you so much, guys, and I can't wait to talk with you later.